Hello, this is Mr. Painter with another fabulous Quizzette tutorial. Today we're going on Quizzette 844, the Monday section. All right, first step. In order to get credit, please put your name on your Quizzette. My name is Mr. Painter. I will be your host today. However, please put your name and not my name. And if you would, go ahead and copy down the date as well as put your class and color on top of the paper. All right, looks like we're ready to go. Monday, y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 4. So the name of the game here is what we're going to do is we're going to take x and plug in whatever value of x we have here. So in this case, we got y equals, first step, I'm going to copy down the problem, 3 over 2x, and that's negative, plus 4. So next step, I'm going to go ahead and put in 0 for x. So I got y equals negative 3 over 2 multiply times 0 plus 4. All right, so in order of operations, note that multiplication comes before addition. So in this case, you're probably thinking, well, a fraction times a whole number is kind of difficult. But in reality is when you have a fraction times a 0, it actually makes the equation come out to 0. So next step is we got y equals 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep the x, all right? We're going to keep the x. So 0, actually, no, we don't need the x because x was 0. 0 plus 4. So we bring down the last 4. And y equals 0 plus 4 is y equals 4. All right. Same thing again. What we're going to do is we're going to plug in negative 2 in for x. So we got y equals negative 3 over 2 times x. Now I'm just copying down the problem. Plus 4. So first step, just copy down the problem. It gets you started. Then you're going to change x into the x value here, which is negative 2. So now I got y equals negative 3 over 2 multiply, careful on this one, negative 2 plus 4. All right, next up on this one, we're going to go ahead and put negative 2 as a fraction so we can multiply straight across. So negative 3 will be multiplied with negative 2, and we're going to go ahead and add the 1. We're going to go ahead and add 1. So now, for the numerators, it's negative 3 times negative 2. And for the denominators, it is 2 times 1. So now I got y equals numerator, negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6 over 2 times 1 is 2 plus 4. Next up, we got y equals 6 over 2 is equal to 3. Literally, 6 divided 2 is 3. Do not forget the 4. And y equals 3 plus 4 is 7. And there we go. That concludes Monday, number 1. All right, number 2, graph the equation. Now, a couple pointers on this one. Let's go back to the function table here for number 1. So when we talk about the function table, we talk about an ordered pair. So notice here, the 0 is the x value, comma, the 4 is the y value. So we have a point at 0, comma 4. Now, for this point here, we also have a -2 for x, so -2, comma, and y was equal to 7. So y is 7 there. So what I can do is I can use these 2 points to graph the equation on our Cartesian plane. All right. First step, let's go ahead and graph 0 and 4. So I'm going to graph 0 and 4. So I'm going to, don't go left, don't go right, but go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is nice because this is actually something called the y-intercept. Now, the -2, -7, let's do this one a hot pink. You're going to go to the left 2 and up 7. So left before up. So here we go. Start over again in the middle. Left 1, left 2. See how the -2 matches the -2 here? And up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 lands right there. So that right there gives you 2 points to go ahead and grab. So take a look at the pattern. It looks like from the blue point, it is up 3 and to the left 2. So what we can do is we can do the opposite. Down 3, right 2. Down 3, right 2. And down 3, right 2 to make the graph more accurate. Because a linear line goes on forever. It doesn't stop. So connect the dots, connect, 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 connect. And because it never stops, I'm going to go ahead and draw the arrows at the ends here. Now, that is one way to do it. What about another way? Check this out. Given that you have the equation y equals -3 over 2x plus 4, you can start with something called the y-intercept. So y-intercept. What that means is this is the point that crosses the y-axis. And notice that we happen to just get that from the function table. Now, the graph here tells you the direction to go. So, for instance, we can go up 3 and we can go to the left 2 from the positive 4. So, check this out. Up 3 from the y-intercept, 1, 2, 3, and to the left 2, 1, 2, and notice that we're back at the pink point here. That's another way of doing it. You should know both, but hey, this is a Quizzette tutorial. I want to just give you both options there. So that right there is for sure correct because we actually did it twice, 2 different ways, and we're good. All right. Number 3, what is the y-intercept? The y-intercept is positive 4. So that's the point where you start on the y-axis. Now, the slope is going to be the fraction directly in front of the x. So in this case, the slope is going to be -3 over 2. And the rise is part of the slope. So the rise was the 3. So the rise is the 3 here. And finally, the run is going to be your denominator of the fraction. In this case, it's going to be -2. So we can fill these all in, make it look good. So we got a 4 there. The whole slope is everything, so it's -3 over 2. The rise is 3. And the run is -2. So that means we'd be going to the left. All right. And a flash from the past, we got number 7. So this one should be good. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to solve for x. And the first step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something called distributive property. I'm going to combine like terms. So here we go. -5 times 1 is -5. -5 multiply a -5 is positive 25x. Same thing here, distributive property. We got plus 5 times -8 is -40. Don't forget the x. Positive 5 times a -2 is going to be -10 equals. Now here, notice that we have something called like terms. We have a -4 and a -8. What we can do is we can combine like terms and just call it -12. Now you're probably thinking, well, Mr. Painter, I thought it'd be +4 or -4. No. If you lose 4 x's and you lose another 8 x's, altogether you lost 12 x's. So now we're there. Now notice here that we combine like terms here. What I like to do is combine like terms here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine 25x and I'm going to combine -40x. Now, if you have like say 25 x's and you lose 40 of them, that will put you in the negative because you lost more than you already had. Now, the difference is 40 minus 25, you're down 15 x's there. All right, now what about the terms that do not have an x? So we got a -5 and a -10. So combining those terms together, we're going to have -5 and -10. We lost -15. So we're going to do -15 there. Equals, let's see, -12x. So now we're there. All right, next step is we are solving for x. So we got x's on both sides. Typically what I do is I look for the smaller the x's and I add it up. So I want to add up 15 x's on both sides. So let's go ahead and add 15x here. But whatever we do to one side, we must do to the, you got it, to the other side. And what that's going to do is by taking the smaller x here and adding it to both sides, well, that's going to bump my negative into a positive, so that makes it really nice to work with. So now I got -15 plus +15, x's cancel out. -15 there, no touchy, leave it alone, equals 15 subtract 12 is 3x there. And we're going to stay positive because 15 is greater than 12. That's negative. All right, last step. We need to divide 3 from both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide 3 here. And whatever I do to one side, I need to do to the other side. So now I got -15 divide 3. Positive and a negative is going to be negative. -15 divide +3 is -5 equals 3 cancel out equals x. Now, if you don't like that where -5 is equal to x, you can call it x equals -5. They're actually the same exact thing. At the end of the day, you have a number with a variable. So the correct answer here will be D. All right, with that being said, this completes your Quizzette tutorial for 844. Thank you and have a fantastic day.